In the heart of America's Rust Belt, where steel once roared and factories hummed with life, towns like Millfield, Ohio, stood as testaments to the golden era of American manufacturing. Generations of men and women built their lives around the promise of steady work, a decent wage, and a shot at the American dream. But as the years passed, that promise faded. The factory gates rusted shut, and jobs disappeared overseas, leaving behind empty storefronts and quiet streets. For decades, politicians came and went, each offering new plans, new strategies, new empty words. The people of Millfield grew weary of the same tired speeches about economic recovery, knowing that none of them ever seemed to trickle down to their town. And then, in 2016, a new voice broke through the noise. Donald J. Trump spoke to them, not like the polished politicians before him, but like someone who understood their rage, their fear, and their desperation. He stood on stage, face flushed beneath the glaring lights, and told them exactly what they wanted to hear. I see you. I will fight for you. I will bring your jobs back. It was intoxicating. He didn't speak in the guarded, carefully measured tones of Washington insiders. He said what they were thinking, unfiltered and raw. He pointed fingers, named enemies, and promised revenge. He told them their struggles weren't their fault. The factories didn't close because of inevitable shifts in a global economy, no, it was stolen from them. Their jobs were taken by corrupt elites, greedy corporations, and immigrants who flooded the country unchecked. And most importantly, he assured them, he alone could fix it. They believed him. For people like Mark, a laid-off steelworker, and his wife Susan, who had been piecing together shifts at the local diner to keep their family afloat, Trump's words felt like hope. The idea that someone, finally, was going to fight for them was irresistible. They didn't care about the scandals, the vulgarities, or the outbursts that filled the news cycle. If anything, that only made them like him more. He was real, they said. He wasn't like the others. What they didn't see, what they couldn't see, was that they were being used. Trump was a master salesman, a billionaire who had spent his life manipulating people to get what he wanted. And what he wanted now was power. To achieve that, he needed an army, a devoted base who would see him as their only salvation. He needed them angry. He needed them desperate. And most of all, he needed them to believe that he was their only way out. The machinery that supported him worked tirelessly to feed this illusion. Conservative media spun every failure into a victory, every lie into truth. When Trump failed to bring back the jobs, it wasn't his fault, it was the Democrats, the deep state, the immigrants, the media, the communists. When he gave massive tax breaks to the wealthy while everyday Americans saw little to no benefit, they were told that real change takes time. When he fumbled his response to crises, they were told the real enemy was the people exposing his incompetence. Mark still waited for the steel mill to reopen, for the boom that had been promised. It never came. Instead, he watched as billionaires and corporations made record profits while his family scraped by on food stamps. Trump also just took away Mark's food stamp.